Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for another Talent Spotlight. Today, we are lucky to talk with Tanner Clay, who is the Director of Revenue with the Battery. And if you haven't been with the Battery to a Battery game or not familiar, they are a local soccer team, and I'll let him go into much more detail about that, but it's a lot of fun. It's a good time with the family or friends. So I'll give a little plug in the very beginning. And then now I'm going to pass it over to Tanner so he can kind of talk about his background. First, kind of tell us how your background and how you ended up with the Battery.
Absolutely. Yeah. First off, thank you so much, Jamie, for the opportunity to speak with you today. But yeah, I'll jump right into it. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Tanner Clay. I'm currently the Director of Revenue for the Charleston Battery. We're your local professional soccer team that's been playing for 30 years this year in 2023. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. Grew up there from kindergarten all the way through high school. I was lucky enough to get a scholarship to come out and play for the College of Charleston from 2011 to 2015. I've always grown up playing all different sports. Just grew a passion to be competitive, and that's where I built a lot of my relationships and friendships that I still have to this day. On a day in and day out, I'm heading up all of the corporate partnerships, sponsorship opportunities here at the club, as well as the group sales and season memberships as well. Yeah, that's a little about me. That's a little bit about me.
That's great. And, I think what you talked about earlier was that you didn't always end up in this type of role. Soccer kind of put you in it. You'd been working for enterprise, you'd worked for a local tech company. So it's a good story to kind of show that, all paths can be different, and kind of getting back to a passion that you have, which was soccer. So with that being said, tell us how, your passion brought you to Charleston in the first place and you decided to stay.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a funny story. Charleston, I really didn't know much about it except for, in a history book about Fort Sumter, back when I was in, junior high and elementary school. But yeah, I just played very competitive soccer growing up, and was actually able to go to a big international tournament called the Dallas Cup when I was a junior in high school. There's teams from all over the world. And coaches from all over the country as well. Was lucky enough to get scouted by the assistant coach at the time, Troy Lesane, who's actually the head assistant for the New York Red Bulls in the MLS right now. So he tapped on my shoulder, got in touch with my coach, and I was able to come out, take an official visit later that summer. Loved it. What's not to love about this city? I got to watch a game. The team played Davidson that night. They got a 1-0 win. I was able to kind of go out with the team later that evening. I had my mom and my grandma with me on that visit as well. So family is really important for me, and Charleston just ticked a lot of those boxes. So that's kind of how I ended up in Charleston, and I haven't left since I got here in 2011.
It's always interesting how different things can bring people to Charleston, but the falling in love with it instantly seems to be the theme of why everyone stays. So with working at the Battery and having a couple of different jobs while you're here and also attending, let us know, what are some of the biggest benefits to working in Charleston or at the Battery?
Yeah, I'll first start off with Charleston. It's I've never really worked anywhere else, as a professional. So I guess I'm lucky in that. But if you're talking about having a great way of life, being able to get up, weather is pretty beautiful year round, being able to drive to the beach, within 20 to 30 minutes. The people, I think, is what makes Charleston wonderful as well. It's very much a melting pot of different cultures, different generations. And with it being, right here next to the college, I think there's a very young feel as well, but a ton of history. So, I joke that, every single day I'm seeing new things, I'm going to new restaurants, meeting new people. But yeah, Charleston, it's a special place. One of the biggest benefits of working for the Charleston Battery, on top of being able to go to work and not feel like you're working, because I truly am working in my passion, which is the game that it really is the world's game. I'm able to go to every single match and watch and share why I was able to get into the game, and kind of show that passion for the young kids who will aspire to hopefully get on that field someday. That's why I love it. I'm able to bring in local businesses, local business owners who might not have a platform to highlight their business and are looking for new ways to reach their customers. That's another really cool way I'm able to meet with local small businesses to the largest businesses that we work with as well, like the Volvos of the world, right? Who are on the front of our jersey. So it's a really cool opportunity, really cool job to just be a connector of people.
Let's end with, what is your quintessential day in Charleston?
Definitely. And my wife wouldn't be happy if I didn't mention her here today. So I have a beautiful wife. She's actually from Spain. We met at the College of Charleston, and we now have will be a 2-year-old son in June. His name's Diego. So most of my perfect days in Charleston start with them. So it'd probably be a morning stroll downtown Charleston, hitting up one of the beautiful legendary spots of the Battery Park, or Hampton Park downtown, or going down to East Bay Street. There's just so many beautiful streets and ways that you can see the city. It's all within walking distance, which I would say is very European. And I think that's why she loves it. The food is definitely what I think keeps people here as well. There's just so much that you can do and eat. So I would say probably grabbing, shrimp and grits from, one of these historic restaurants. Next would probably be walking down and connecting to get to the beach. We love the beach, kicking the ball around, playing in the sand. And then definitely going to a Battery game later that night.
I love the end there, ending with the Battery game. I went to my first Battery game last month, and the sunset was one of the best sunsets I've ever seen, and y'all won. So it was a great evening with my family. So that sounds like a perfect day, and hopefully people can get down here after watching and enjoy that day, and then find, make Charleston home. But I want to say thank you again for the time, and let everyone know watching to check out the Battery and jobs and different opportunities in hospitality and sports. So thank you again. I appreciate the time, Tanner.
Of course. Thank you so much.